Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The Pistons and Clippers will try to extend their first-round series at home tonight. Detroit hosting the Knicks, with New York leading 3-2. And in Los Angeles, the Clippers hosting the Nuggets, with Denver leading 3-2, and with Nuggets interim coach David Adelman believing in his team.
Not every season is supposed to be this pretty, Disney movie or something, man. Like, this is the NBA. We had ups and downs. We had injuries. We had guys in and out. Things got negative for a while when things aren't going your way, and especially when you lose games late in the season that you know are important.
David Adelman, Nuggets and Clippers at 9:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Our Shams Charania reports the Suns promote Brian Gregory to be the team's new GM. James Jones, who's been the GM for the last 6 years, will become a senior advisor. Baseball today, the Royals hammer the Rays 8-2. Bobby Witt Jr. drives in 3, including a home run. He's now got a 22-game hitting streak. The Cubs blast the Pirates 8-3. 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in for Seiya Suzuki.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, everyone knows Jason Tatum is my favorite player. But can Anthony Edwards become the face of the league without making the finals? We'll talk about it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We got a couple of Saints undrafted free agents joining the show today. We'll have Kendall Rogers in hour number 3, but let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, I'm going to preface this conversation by saying this may amount to a big, fat nothing burger. It may. This may be a total 0. But it could be something really cool. And for that reason, we're going to talk about it. The LSU baseball Tigers are in College Station. They took off on Wednesday. They'll practice in College Station today, Thursday, and then they'll play A&M this weekend. Deven Sheerin is not going to pitch for LSU this weekend. He hasn't pitched for LSU at all this year. But before that run rule fiasco against Northwestern State, Sheerin was throwing a flat ground in the outfield before that game. And there's no way Jay Johnson would let the media in the world see Deven Sheerin throwing a flat ground before that game unless he wanted everybody to see it. And then we saw Deven Sheerin throwing again, and Jay Johnson was asked about it after Tuesday's game, about Sheerin throwing, and apparently he's coming along pretty well, and today there was a little more of an advancement. But before I give you that, I want to go back, because no doubt there's some of you right now going, Matt, that sounds awesome. I'm glad you're excited this could be a thing, but who's Deven Sheerin? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Actually, you might be asking, who's Deven Sheerin?
Matt, who's Deven Sheerin?
You should know this. You do Musso at the box.
I do know this.
How do you not know the
I
answer
did this
to that?
segment 2 days ago.
Hey, I don't need any subtle flex on that. It's updated today, advanced today, and I was talking about the game, and I had a lot of stuff to talk about. I almost did that.
You did. You almost slipped up there. That'd have been really good, actually. Really bad, but really good.
Yeah. We had so much on the show 2 days ago, Muse, that I bumped the Keenan Allen segment. Remember that? All right.
I do
So I don't
remember
need
that.
any of your nonsense. I was trying to give you a Musso at the box plug, and then you took a shot at me. See if that ever happens
I didn't
again.
take a shot.
You
I
did.
just
I
I
did
plugged
it 2
Moose at the
days
box.
ago.
We're like, we
I
had
did
this
it
a few
2
days
days
ago.
ago.
Moose at the box. You should listen.
Yeah, I did it 2 days ago. Now, don't listen to Musso at the box now. Don't do that. Taking shots. Anyway. So Devin Sheerin was a no-star coming out of high school. Like, no ranking. And then a thing happened that is a funny thing sometimes when dudes grow through puberty. They hit a growth spurt, and that happened to Devin Sheerin. He recalled that on AFR after he committed, and he went kaboom physically and went up to 6'5", and then started throwing 98. But he was at Mount St. Mary's because nobody recruited him. He's from Pennsylvania. He ends up at Mount St. Mary's, and then all of a sudden, dude becomes a giant who's throwing 100. Well, after 1 year at Mount St. Mary's, he goes in the portal. He's on everybody's radar. He was the number 8 transfer portal ranked player, the number 8 ranked player in the portal. That was according to Baseball America. So again, the entire country, this dude was the number 8 player in the portal. He comes to LSU, and Jay Johnson, in his pre-fall ball press conference, made the unfortunate announcement about Devin Sheerin.
Devin Sheerin won't pitch this fall. He had a torn ACL, so we're not really sure on the timeline, for his return.
Okay, so torn ACL, not really sure on the timeline. It kind of felt like he was going to be on the shelf for the year. One more from Jay, sort of on Sheeran's recovery.
Your legs feed your arm as a pitcher. Yeah. And so there's 2 elements to the recovery. There is the ACL in itself, like making sure it can move, and structurally that's in a good spot. But the last thing you want to do is end up rushing him back from that. And then there's a change in delivery and mechanics, and he's obviously a big guy, and then, putting the elbow or shoulder at risk. And so there's 2 elements of it that we were going to be really careful with.
Okay, all that makes sense. And there is no problem, of course. Like, you were going to take your time and make sure that young dude with a giant future heals properly. It's 100% the right thing to do. So that was in fall. No real timeline, and we haven't seen Sheerin pitch yet this year, and I think a lot of us are operating under the assumption that he wouldn't pitch. And then last week, he's out there throwing a flat ground, and then Jay, after the game on Tuesday, makes the announcement that Sheerin threw a simulated game. And now all of a sudden, it's going, could he actually return this year? So Jay was a guest on Off the Bench. He's with Hester and T-Bob every Thursday, was on OTB today, Thursday morning, and the guys asked him for an update on Sheerin. Here you go.
Yeah, he's throwing live, simulated games, and he's obviously got a great arm. It's just a matter of, there's a lot more to it to be able to put him in a game, specifically an SEC game, in terms of readiness. But we're excited about his health progress. Now, I think, a word I used the other day is just, the sharpness. We need to get it to a level where we feel good about putting him in a game. I think that day will come. I'm just not quite sure yet when.
Okay. That day is certainly going to come eventually. But does that day come this year? That's the gigantic question. Listen, I'm not going to oversell you on this. I'm going back to where I started, where we started this segment. This could be a gigantic nothing burger. Like this, Devin Sheerin may not pitch for LSU this year. And it may be a guy that's back next year vying for a spot in a rotation. That's going to be pretty crowded because William Schmidt, Kason Evans, whoever they inevitably add via the transfer portal will all be vying for those spots along with Devin Sheerin and others. So, again, I'm not trying to oversell this now. But it's a very similar conversation to what we were having a year ago about Chase Shores. Because when you have a dude like this, there's one thing that's certain is he ain't staying on campus for 4 years. You got him for 3. So if you can get 1 pitch out of him this year, 1 pitch, you do it because he's not coming back for an extra year. He's 6'5", he throws 100. Not this July, but next July, somebody's taking Devin Sheerin and he's signing a pro contract. The same thing with Chase Shores this year. And I know you could say, well, Chase Shores, he's had trouble throwing strikes. Doesn't matter. He's 6'8" and throws 100. He's going to get drafted and he's going to sign. So that's just what it is. That's why a year ago, remember, Shores as a freshman, unfortunately tears his UCL, has Tommy John, looked like he was going to miss all of last year, but then he's ramping up his throwing program, and Jay announced, like, if they had beaten North Carolina, and LSU was in the freaking driver's seat. I mean, you're leading in the 9th inning, about to advance. And if they had advanced, he would have been available in the Supers, and then potentially Omaha. Now, they didn't get there, so we didn't get to find out. But they were going to use him. And that's the same reason why, if you can use Sheerin this year, you use him. If you do use him, is he any good? I have no idea. Throwing against SEC hitters is going to be dramatically different than throwing against whatever he was facing in Mount St. Mary's. That's just a fact. I mean, I'm an idiot, and I know that. That's an obvious statement. So, I don't know. Is he ready to throw leverage pitches in the postseason? I don't know. But I'll reiterate, you get one pitch out of him this year that's better than nothing, because it's not like you need to preserve the red shirt for the extra year. That's just irrelevant with a guy like this. So we're going to follow. And like the preeminent example of a late addition that became an impact guy is Chad Jones. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying this dude's going to be Chad Jones, okay? But Chad Jones was playing spring football in 2009, comes off of spring football, joins the baseball team. Maneria lets him pitch. And we know Chad Jones had some really impactful moments in that run, especially in Omaha. Got the Dreadlocks of Doom moniker, all that stuff. It was awesome. So, I mean, dude throwing low mid 90s from the left side was awesome to see. Intimidating dude, and it gave you another dimension. And for an LSU team that has struggled to find arms that can consistently throw strikes out of the bullpen, I'm not telling you Deven Sheerin is the knight in shining armor who's going to come in and save the day for the bullpen. I'm just telling you, that's a dude that throws 98. And I'll take it. If you can get something out of him, get it. One worth watching. Again, he's not going to pitch this weekend against A&M. I don't know that he pitches on Tuesday against Grambling, or next week against Arkansas, or against South Carolina, or in Hoover. I have no idea. But it's one we got to watch at this point moving forward. All right, it's after further review. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Of course, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints as well. If you're going to be jazz festin', make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light. Like I'm going to be this weekend. Pearl Jam, shout out. Going to be watching LSU baseball, home, restaurant, sports bar, whatever it may be. Make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light. Of course, the official beer of AFR. And not too late for all your boils. You're still boiling those mud bugs. Nothing goes together like buds and boils. So plenty of Bud and Bud Light at that crawfish boil. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Dalys Beanum will be here next hour. Elliot Davison will be here in hour 3. Those are a couple of Saints undrafted free agents that are going to join the show today. Looking forward to having those conversations with these guys who will be at rookie minicamp next week in New Orleans. When we come back, though, we've come out of spring ball for LSU, and there's a player who I want to highlight that we've talked about, but I still don't think we've really underscored just how significant this guy might be for the Tigers in the fall. I'll tell you who it is next on AFR.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. Give Jareth Nakan and the gang over at Glow Resources a call if you're a business owner. I want to stress that. They're not a temp staffing agency. This isn't, hey, if you need a job, call Glow. That's not what this is. At Glow Resources, they're not a temp staffing solution. These aren't employees that are looking for their next paycheck. These are people who are looking for their next career opportunities. And they specialize in skilled blue-collar labor, and that's welders, carpenters, heavy equipment operators, crane operators, but they also have their professional placement division, which is on the admin side, from civil construction and maritime to service companies and appliances. They do it all. I mean, they had an engineer from India placed in a job in Houston, and Glow Resources from right here in Baton Rouge connected all those dots. So if you're a business owner and you need to find the right people, you need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Counting down the seconds at this point. Not the days or hours, even the minutes.
That's going to take a while. The second, that's going to take a while.
Don't kill my joy.
I'm just saying.
I can't count down the seconds.
No,
I'm so bad at math. I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. 60 seconds in a minute. I know that much.
There you go. That's correct.
60 minutes in an hour.
Another one.
Yeah, 24 hours in a day.
Oh, my guy's on a roll.
All right, so I still haven't done any of the math. I've just stated facts.
Well, I mean, hey.
Let's see. We have an hour and 42 minutes until 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And at which point we will be 48 hours away.
Yep.
So I'm 49 hours and 42 minutes away.
Sounds right to me.
Hey, Siri, how many seconds are in 49 hours and 42 minutes?
49 hours is 178,900.
Turn it down a little, Muse. Anyway, I was trying to let him hear Siri. 178,920 seconds.
Yeah.
Until I see Pearl Jam at Jazz Fest. Get hyped! Paul doesn't even know who Pearl Jam is. You know what I found out today, Muse?
What'd you find out today?
Paul keeps bothering Michelle Southern about Shinedown tickets. He's not going to be here next week.
Nice.
He's not going to be here next week on Tuesday or Thursday. Whatever. What day is it?
Tuesday.
He's not going to be here on Tuesday because he's going to see Shinedown.
Oh, hell yeah, Paul. Have a good time, man. Shinedown's good.
Our
Shinedown.
little Paulie here. taking a day off of work to go watch Shinedown. Now I got news for you, Coach. I'm a huge Shinedown fan.
They're good.
Back in my old Matt Chase from Rock 93.7 days, seen Shinedown plenty. Saw him at Clicks Billiards in Baton Rouge.
Gosh.
Yeah, 21 years ago, watched Shinedown over there. Saw him at the Varsity. I've seen him at Smoothie King Center, formerly New Orleans. I've seen Shinedown plenty. They're amazing. Fantastic band. I just take exception with Paul yesterday, saying he had no chance of naming 20 Pearl Jam songs when he's out here acknowledging he's like the biggest Shinedown, or not telling anybody he's like the biggest Shinedown fan in the world. And I got news for you, Coach. There's a lot of synergies and overlaps there because Shinedown really came into public awareness. That was my Rock 93.7 days. That was like 03, 04-ish when they really had their ascent. And Pearl Jam wasn't even 2 decades into their career yet at that point. What do you have to say for yourself, Paulie?
Treating my wife.
So is Sam the Shinedown fan, or are you?
No, it's Sam. Shinedown is her favorite band of all time.
Damn it! Then I rescind everything I just said.
That didn't go how you planned
no,
at all.
it didn't at all.
It did not.
That explains, though, why Paul was super aggressive about these Shinedown tickets. But Sam's got great taste. Could Sam name 20 Pearl Jam songs? I want to get Sam on the phone and see if Sam could name, I'll even go 10 Pearl Jam songs.
She could probably do 10. I don't know about 20, but she could probably do 10.
That's right. I should have known that Paul wasn't a Shinedown fan.
I mean,
he's from the mean streets of Central.
He is.
His low-riding truck with his subwoofers.
Oh, yeah?
With Tupac blaring every day.
All day, every day.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
What else, Paulie?
All of it. Any of them.
If I turn on your car right now, what's the first song that's going to play?
Good question.
Well, Paul, I can't answer that for you. Like if I open up your CD player, your playlist, whatever you got, if you like, what's the first thing that would play?
Oh, man. Right now, probably Connor Price.
I don't know who that is.
Who is that?
You wouldn't. It's an independent artist. You wouldn't know.
What type
God, look at Paul, man. He's so deep into it.
What type of music?
It's hip hop.
Of course it is. So that's the point. So I should have.
Independent artist, Scone. You wouldn't know.
Knew him before he was big. Before he sold out.
There we go.
Paulie was there from the beginning. Connor Price. Is he from here?
No, he's from Canada.
Wait. Canadian hip hop, Paul?
Drake.
That's true.
Look at me.
Aubrey.
Hey,
yeah.
Look at me.
Aubrey.
Look at me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Look at you.
How about that?
Yeah, because, I mean, Drake, like, really.
I knew who Drake was.
Like 08, 09.
And then he's from Canada.
What was the TV show he was on?
I am done with my Drake knowledge.
Okay.
That's it.
That's Degrassi.
It. I know he did the Kiki Do You Love Me song. That's
He did. He did do that
all
one.
up in my feelings. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. Tapped out there. And apparently Kendrick Lamar and he have a big feud.
Yeah.
Learned about that during the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Because everybody yelled A minor, and it was like this funny thing. I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, it was a good pull. It was a good pull for you.
How about me?
Because, I mean, yeah.
How about me? Huh?
How about it?
I'm going to do this story now.
Yeah.
This one. That's the one that's on the rundown. We'll get to that. Drake. Man, that Shinedown thing really backfired a lot. I tell you.
That made it so much better, though. It really did.
I had him pegged against the wall. I was like, yeah, I don't want to go. It's my wife. That actually plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I was going to be very surprised that Paulie was a Shinedown fan. Tigers came out of spring, and there was a lot of ascending players that we talked about. Monsoor Delane, DJ Pickett at corner. We spent so much time talking about the offensive line. You know, Josh Thompson coming in late from Northwestern. Does he can play guard, tackle, ones, twos? Seeing Braylon Moore alternate with DJ Chester at center. We had a lot of convos about different players, spring portal additions. And maybe the guy that we should have been spending more time talking about that we didn't is Nick Anderson, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. And y'all, this popped onto my radar today. And it's not to say we didn't talk at all about Nick Anderson. But remember, like, Nick Anderson missed all of last year at Oklahoma with that quad injury. And and it lingered here into this spring, and so he was really limited. Like at the early part of spring, he was in a no-contact jersey, and by the end of spring, he was taking contact. I mean, he, in this open spring practice, spring game, caught a pass, a little dump off in the right flat, got upfield, went through contact. So, I mean, he was taking full contact by then. But I was reminded today of the boom potential of Nick Anderson when I opened Jordan Reed's way too early 2026 mock draft. And this is not a mock draft segment. Like, whatever. Okay, I mean, you're 12 months away from next year's draft. Ain't nobody know nothing about nothing at this point. This is just to suggest the potential, right? Well, Jordan Reed put out his first round mock draft at ESPN.com, and he has Nick Anderson going number 22 overall to the Los Angeles Chargers. Let me remind you, Nick Anderson didn't play last year at Oklahoma. He missed a year. This would be like having Harold Perkins in a first round mock draft now. It's an equivalent. Guy had a monster year, but had an injury, and now coming off of injury, what does he do is the big question. I mean, it's also worth noting, while quarterback is a pretty widely thought of position for the 2026 draft, receiver isn't, but it also goes to show the promise and potential that Anderson has. I think we're sleeping on Nick Anderson, and I kind of get it. Two reasons primarily. Number one, he just didn't participate much in spring. That's one. And he didn't play last year. So there's not a large sample size. Number two is you're so deep at receiver. So how does he get reps? Brian Kelly, during spring, during one of his media avails at like in the middle of April. So this was like probably at the end of spring after. This was his final media availability. He was asked kind of how Nick Anderson developed, and remember, went from being a red no contact jersey to being full go by the end.
I think he was a little slowed by an injury that was lingering. We just wanted to be patient with him. Nick's a smart kid. He knows his body. He's not a guy that you have to push and say, hey, get out there. When he's ready, he's going to go compete. I think he just has a maturity about him that you don't have to worry about. And as he's gotten healthy, you can see the kind of presence that he has. He's big, he's physical, he's athletic. I'm excited about him. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to win some key one-on-one matchups for us with his physicality, in particular some of those one-on-one key third down matchups that you need. So it's nice to see him rounding into form as we get late here into spring practice.
I don't know that we're just looking at Nick Anderson as like a third down guy, which is kind of what Brian Kelly alluded to there, because you also heard him say he's going to win some key one-on-ones. If you watched the spring game, spring scrimmage, there was a sequence when Nick Anderson was out there with the twos. And he was like, I can see it vividly in my mind's eye. The twos were going toward the north end zone, and they were around midfield. And Nick Anderson's lined up on the left of the formation against DJ Pickett. And Nick Anderson dusted DJ Pickett. I mean, he was open by 5 yards. And Michael Van Buren missed him. He overthrew him deep. I mean, that's just a little more air under it. It's a walk-in touchdown. And listen, not worried about DJ Pickett. He's long and athletic and awesome, and he's going to win a bunch. But Nick Anderson is going to do that to a lot of people. Like, I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. Nick Anderson in 23 at Oklahoma averaged 21 yards per reception. Like, that wasn't his long. That was his average. Every time he caught the ball, he averaged 21 yards. That was the same average Jamar Chase had in his Biletnikoff season. Now, Anderson did it on 38 catches. Jamar had 80 that year. But the point is, the explosive big play potential is there for Nick Anderson, and the physicality, which Brian Kelly mentioned, bears mentioning again, because he's 6'4", 215. So he's 6'4", 215 and can fly. which makes him a freak. That makes him DK Metcalf. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying he's an all-pro right now. I'm just giving you a comp to a dude that's a massive receiver that can also fly. That's double trouble. It's not like a big dude that only lives in the 8 to 12 yard range because he can find a mismatch against a nickel or a linebacker and isn't afraid to go over the middle because of his physicality. This is a dude that can do both. I guess my one, and look, everybody knows it. I mean, you look at his portal ranking in the On3 composite, he was the number 19 player at any position. 24/7 ranked him the 9th best player in the portal, regardless of position. Top 10, regardless of position. So you've got a dude here that everybody wanted, and that's now a major asset for Garrett Nussmeier to throw to. My giant question, like my one giant question is how do you get him targets? Because you're returning Aaron Anderson and Chris Hilton and Xavier Thomas and Kyle Parker, and you've added Nick Anderson and Barrion Brown and Destin Hill. And oh, by the way, you also throw the tight end a bunch, and you've got Bauer Sharp and Trey'Dez Green there. So that's not even counting throwing to the running backs. So how in the world do you distribute the football? How do you spread it around and get everybody their targets and touches? That is a giant question that Joe Sloan's going to have to answer. It's an unenviable task, but my goodness, what an embarrassment of riches that you have. The thing you can look at the other side is you are losing 3 guys that combined for 155 receptions. I'm not even counting Josh Williams. But Kyron Lacey last year caught 58 balls. Mason Taylor caught 55.
Mason Taylor!
And CJ Daniels caught 42. That's 155 receptions that you're replacing. How about that math? So you are replacing a lot of production, but you're returning a lot of production, a lot of experience, and you've added a lot of production and experience. How you distribute the ball is going to be significant. But man, Nick Anderson, I just don't think, like, we've talked about him. I think everybody knows he was good at OU that year. I just don't think we've spent enough time really underscoring just what type of boom potential he has. And I was reminded of it when I saw this mock draft that has him as the 22nd pick in next year's draft. A guy that missed all of last year and is now at a new school. But you're in the right offense, it's going to sling it around. Got a 4,000-yard passer returning. Keep an eye on Nick Anderson, man. Excited to see him. All right, it is After Further Review. I'm glad you're hanging out with us here. Y'all, Mother's Day is a week from Sunday. If you don't have your reservations for Mother's Day yet, it's not too late to get them at Supper Club. Remember, Supper Club is usually closed on Sunday. They're closed Sunday, Monday, open Tuesday to Saturday, but they're opening for Mother's Day. So they'll be open 11 to 3. So just for lunch, not for dinner, just for lunch on Mother's Day, 11 to 3. They still have some seating available. So if you're interested, you want to treat mom to an incredible experience this Mother's Day, Supper Club can take care of it. Go to supperclubbtr.com for your reservations, supperclubbtr.com for your reservations. That's at Supper Club right there on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. You want to give mom the experience that you could typically only have in New York or LA or Vegas or Paris or London or Dubai. You don't have to go far. Just go right there on Perkins Road. Supperclubbtr.com for Supper Club. Get your reservations for Mother's Day. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly did give his version of the Will Campbell, Mike Vrabel workout story. We'll get to that here in about 15 minutes. We'll go around the SEC, and I do want to talk a little Zion at the top of hour number 2 because there is a projected Zion Williamson trade that is floating out there that I want to discuss. We'll get to that in 30 minutes at AFR.
After Further Review.
The Advanced Turnaround Group over at Action Industries. Love being able to tell you about our friends over at Action Industries, in particular this time of year, the Advanced Turnaround Group, because it is, after all, turnaround season. And as we all know, the petrochemical, the refinery markets, the plants up and down the river, they do so much for our state's economy. It means so much for our state's economy. And when we get to turnaround season, really, which is really March through October, you want companies that you know that are going to do exceptional work at the highest safety standards, and that's Action Industries, check, but also that focus in turnaround work. Well, that's the Advanced Turnaround Group, which is a subsidiary of Action Industries. They have 24-hour availability for emergencies. They offer specialty welding, and you're going to get that personal attention from a company that will prioritize you. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
Did you get the edited version?
I have no idea. It doesn't say that, but it also doesn't say parental advisory. Should we just wait and find out?
Here in about 20 seconds, you're going to know. Dear another child.
I don't really want to risk it, I'm not going to lie.
Won't feel as alone as he does in 2 years. And counting, here comes you.
Oh, no.
Put her around this place. She's been diagnosed by some stupid music.
Got him.
Oh my God! Yo!
I mean, look.
Yo, I even gave you the signal to turn it down.
No, you said here it comes.
I know, so turn it down. Yeah.
But we
Here
didn't
it comes.
know. Look.
Why Go? Great song. I think
Sounds like it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think in Jazz Fest 2010. Let me pull up that set list. I think they opened with Why Go the last time they were here at Jazz Fest.
Maybe they'll do it again.
No, probably not, actually. Let's see. Pearl Jam said, nope, they didn't. Did they play Why Go? They did play Why Go. It was the 17th song on the list. So they did play it. They didn't open with it. Thought maybe they opened with that. It's a good one to open with. It's a good jam.
Yeah, it's good energy.
You know what else? Good energy in Gainesville right now.
What's that?
With that transition right there, #radio guy. DJ Lagway. There's a video of him throwing a football. There it is right there, Paul, if you want to pull it up. Actually throwing a football. So there's all this conversation because Lagway had injured his right shoulder, and so they were resting him. And so anytime you hear about a shoulder and a quarterback or a shoulder and a pitcher, it's always something that's going to get a lot of attention. But he was out there throwing, and he's working in Jacksonville with current NFL quarterbacks Brock Purdy, Anthony Richardson, Jordan Travis, Gardner Minshew. More on Jordan Travis in just a quick second because he's actually not currently an NFL quarterback anymore. But that's a guy who was limited in spring. People are very high on him, former 5-star. When Graham Mertz suffered his season-ending injury, of course, Lagway took over as the starter for the Gators. He had some really nice moments, but there were not great moments as well for a freshman. I'm a little perplexed with all of the overt love and optimism and expectation on DJ Lagway. It's not to say I don't think that he'll be a good player. I don't know that he's ready to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I have seen some lists, whatever list is worth, where that have Lagway as the best quarterback in the SEC, which I'm not sure I can get there. But it is one of those years where when the league has as much top-level turnover as it does, meaning veterans who have been at their place for a while turning over, you do have a pretty wide-open opportunity for someone to step in. Like Jackson Dart, no longer at Ole Miss. Obviously, Jalen Milroe had been a 2-year starter at Alabama, is gone, although you know what I feel about Milroe. And so you see some of the young guys who might be rising. Of course, a lot of people talk about Lenore Sellers. Lagway fits into that mold as well. And then you got John Mateer, the transfers coming in. John Mateer going to Oklahoma from Washington State. And, obviously, Garrett Nussmeier, who I think the only returning 4,000-yard passer in college football, should be at the top of all those lists as we start. But long way to go. But the update there is that DJ Lagway is back throwing, and there had been some concern over the shoulder because whenever you talk about a shoulder injury with a quarterback or a pitcher, it's just far more significant than anything else that happens in the arm because you can rehab everything else. But if you have a shoulder injury, sometimes that can be limiting permanently. So that was obviously the huge thing with Drew Brees when he injured his shoulder. But anyway, Lagway throwing again after spring. Good to see for the Gators. But it's after further review. I mentioned Jordan Travis as well. There was an update there. If you haven't seen it yet, Jordan Travis has retired from football. It's really it is a sad story. He's a guy that had tremendous upside potential, and he suffered that devastating leg injury where he fractured and dislocated his ankle in a game against, wasn't it North Alabama? In a game that, I don't know, you could argue he shouldn't have even been in the game at that point, or why are you even playing a game like that in November? It cost Florida State, that injury cost Florida State an opportunity to make the college football playoff when you had an undefeated Power 5 champion who was left out because their quarterback had been injured. But Travis penned a letter that he posted on social media, and it was a handwritten note announcing his retirement. He was taken in the 5th round a year ago by the Jets and tried to go through the rehabilitation process, but apparently had a setback. Actually, Jordan Travis's agent was pretty critical of the Jets. De'Eric Jackson told ESPN that the Jets rushed Travis's rehab process, which caused a setback, ultimately leading now to his retirement. For what it's worth, in his letter, Travis thanks the Jets and all of the trainers who went through the rehabilitation process with him. But ultimately, the injury he suffered in that game at Florida State against North Alabama was too much for him to overcome and get back onto the field. So Jordan Travis's football career is over. Wish him well in whatever is next in life, but it won't be on the football field. It's another reason why, and I know I say it often, and some of you get tired of hearing me say it, go get your money. You have NIL opportunities out there, like, go get your money. It's funny how forever the narrative was always when people wanted the kids to go back to school instead of going to the NFL. It's, the NFL can wait. The NFL will always be there. You'll have your degree forever. No. College is always going to be there. You're not always going to be physically able to play this game at a point where you can make money and support yourself, your family, short-term, long-term, whatever that may look like. Not everybody's going to go on to make millions of dollars in the NFL for years and years. It's actually a microscopic percentage. But if you have the opportunity to make money in college, no matter how significant or insignificant it may seem, you do it while you're physically able. So, yeah, whatever Jordan Travis got playing at Florida State, I'm glad he got it. Because that injury against North Alabama cost him the opportunity to perhaps make generational wealth in the NFL. So, good luck to Jordan Travis in whatever's next. But a cautionary tale when you criticize people for getting their money when they can. Because I think many times fans hold athletes to a standard they wouldn't hold themselves. Because if you were Jordan Travis, you had an opportunity to go to Florida State and make money as the starter there for a couple of years, you'd done the same darn thing. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Love telling you about our friends over at First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Again, go to firstsouthland.com for First South Farm Credit. Tell you all the time about their patronage refund. I love this. Every year, they actually will write a check back to you, to their borrowers. It effectively lowers your cost of borrowing. So let's say your interest rate's 4%. When your patronage refund check comes, it actually, in effect, lowers your interest rate, like say to 4%. So it's the patronage refund. This year they paid out $25.5 million to their borrowers. Learn more at firstsouthland.com. They're not just in agriculture. You know, I mean, roughly half of their business is people might want to buy 20 acres land, 50 acres land, build your dream home. You could do that with First South Farm Credit. Remember, they can help you buy in any of the lower 48. They've done it for more than 100 years. One thing, helping Louisianians buy land. Firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. All right, it's after further review. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
All right, a couple of commits here. Quarterback Brody McWhorter out of Georgia, 6'2", 205-pounder. He's the three-star, the number 33 quarterback in the country. He'd previously been committed to West Virginia. Also in the portal, Charlotte defensive line transfer Colin Coates has picked the Bulldogs. This past regular season with the 49ers, played in all 12 games, but with limited production.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy landed a commitment from BYU transfer defensive lineman Joshua Singh. Made that commitment on Wednesday evening. He's got one season. Sorry, dude. That wasn't aimed at you, I promise. That was just a bad throw. One season of eligibility remaining. Does not have a transfer rating from 24/7. Backup defensive tackle last year for 13 games at BYU.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
French guard Clarence Masamba has committed to Tennessee basketball. Announced that on social media. Played his most recent basketball season with AS Monaco in the French top-tier level. Don't put your hands up. Averaged 9 points, 2 boards. In the Tennessee 2025 recruiting class now has 5 signees.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Kentucky Hoops is going to play St. John's in the CBS Sports Classic. So that means Mark Pope will take on his former coach, Rick Pitino, at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. Red Storm will also play UCLA in that event, which will include North Carolina and Ohio State. First ever meeting between Pope and Pitino, and the first meeting between Kentucky and St. John's since the Wildcats beat the Red Storm back in 2011. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Our Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. So learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Let me knock out our final break here of hour number 1. We'll come back. Brian Kelly told his version of the Will Campbell, Mike Vrabel workout story. You'll hear it next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. I tell you every day about the preseason AC tune-up. Tomorrow it's my turn. Called, had it scheduled. They're coming tomorrow morning. I'll be able to tell you a full report of how. No, today's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow, Friday. They'll be at our house. Listen, I always encourage you. I practice what I preach. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. Get the standard maintenance done to extend the life of your unit. Make your unit more efficient. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Another 5-star review. This one from Jan, who said, Braylon, the technician, was very thorough, very pleasant. I was very pleased. Super nice guy. You will always get a great, expertly trained technician coming to your house from River City's 1 Hour Air. Give them a buzz, y'all. 752-0001. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he started, and he's a left tackle, and, that's what he's played, that's what he's, done, and so he'll come in here and he'll compete to be the left tackle just like everybody else is going to compete for their spots. That's what we're trying to create here. It is something that there's competition at every position, and that our players believe that the best players are going to play.
That's Mike Vrabel talking about Will Campbell. He was asked if Campbell's going to play left tackle. There would have been a lot of conversation about guard. Well, that pretty much answers it when the head coach comes up and says he's played left tackle his whole life. He's a left tackle, and he's going to compete to be the left tackle, which he's going to win that job. And it'll be the starting left tackle day one, and he'll hold that down for a long time in New England. But it was interesting because, I told you a couple of weeks ago, it was 2 weeks ago today, this Thursday before the draft. And I was over at, I was having lunch at Phil's Oyster Bar, and out of the back room, the wall opened. And here comes Will Campbell and Mike Vrabel and some other members of the Patriots brass, and Miles Frazier, incidentally, was with him as well. It turns out that was the day of this now infamous workout where Will Campbell knocked Mike Vrabel down. Brian Kelly talked to the Boston Globe and said, quote, "In my 35 years, I've seen a lot of workouts. This was a classic. The only time I saw something similar, there was a couple of times Mike Tomlin got involved in a couple of workouts, but not to the extent of the physicality that Vrabel did. That was an all-time classic." What I love about Vrabel, he's like, "All right, show me what you got." Will was like, "Are you sure?" And Vrabel goes, "If you don't, I don't like you," Kelly added, and then said, "And he freaking rocks him. It was on," end quote. Will Campbell, like, it's almost like whenever you go to those mom against their tiny son deals, and the moms get to rock their kid. Like, that's what this kind of feels like, where Will Campbell just got to annihilate a former NFL linebacker who's kind of now his boss. But those dudes will get along just fine. All right, hour number 2 coming up right after SportsCenter. It's AFR. Don't you move.
AFR.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Knicks and Pistons, Game 6 tonight in Detroit. New York leads the series 3-2. Knicks guard Josh Hart.
We got to go out there and compete. We got to go out there and be physical, not worry about foul calls or refs or anything like that. We got to make sure we control what we can control, and that's our reaction to the things that we can't control.
Josh Hart, also tonight in Los Angeles, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Nuggets and Clippers Game 6 with Denver leading 3-2. Celtics guard Drew Holiday wins the NBA's Sportsmanship Award for the second time. He's only the 5th player to take that honor more than once. There's a doubleheader in the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern. Golden Knights holding a 3-2 series lead on the Wild, and the Oilers holding a 3-2 series lead on the Kings. The finalists for the NHL's Hart Trophy as league MVP are Oilers center Leon Draisaitl, Jets goaltender Connor Hellebuck, and Lightning winger Nikita Kucherov.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, everyone knows Jason Tatum is my favorite player. But can Anthony Edwards become the face of the league without making the finals? We'll talk about it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Dalys Beanum's going to be here in 15 minutes. Saints undrafted free agent cornerback out of South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits. Jacked. Have Dalys Beanum with us here in about 15 minutes. Got trying to make the team in a position of need, man. Talked about it all offseason. Your 2 starting corners from week 1 a year ago, they're both gone. You traded Lattimore to Washington, Adebo, signed with the Giants. I don't think Alante Taylor is a cornerback, so Kool-Aid theoretically would have one side locked down. You drafted a cornerback, Quincy Riley from Louisville. Could you potentially have another guy like this make the team? Worth having that conversation. We'll do it here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Muse, do we have our? We did a Twitter poll the other day, and weren't we like trying to find an approval rating for Derek Carr? Correct. Is that what it was?
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. I mean, the poll question was, Saints fans, do you approve of Derek Carr?
What day was that?
Oh man, it was whatever day we did his sermon at the Mount, or excuse me, at the church.
The church.
The church.
Singular.
I think that was that Monday, Paul? Or was it Tuesday? It was Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember exactly which day.
Okay.
I feel like that was Monday.
Yeah, so what are the results?
Yeah, 95.5% said no. They do not approve of Derek Carr.
The question was just very simply, do you approve of Derek Carr?
Correct. So I guess in essence, his approval rating would be 5.5%.
Yeah. Yeah. Could all those people be wrong?
No. I don't think so.
And even if, I guess the point is, even if the Twitter ecosystem isn't a representative of the whole, it's still a large enough sample size of your core audience of Saints fans, your core group of fans, that very much disapprove of Derek Carr. All right. I thought so, but sometimes those exercises, and again, I don't think Twitter is a totally representative sample, but sometimes those can be beneficial exercises just to kind of get a finger on the pulse. I kind of want to do that now because there was another, I saw this again today, and it's a proposed trade involving Zion Williamson. And my question for you is very simple. Do you want New Orleans to trade Zion? Listen, I'm a bit of an outlier in that I like the NBA more than I like here. I mean, I'm an outlier here. I like the NBA more than I like college basketball. I was one of the only goons sitting there watching Gulf Coast Sports Network, watching the Pelicans and the Clippers on a Sunday night at the end of the season when ain't nobody else watching. I know, just like it was me, Jake Madison. They're like, that's it. We're the only two guys. Andrew Lopez was there on TV because he was getting paid to be. You know what I mean? Joel and AD are a lot of fun to watch on the broadcast. But the point is, I know how I feel about it. I just don't know how the masses feel. And while I know overwhelmingly, especially when this team struggles, nobody cares. It's almost just the symptom of basketball in this state. Whether it's LSU men's, LSU women's. Like when Nikki Fargas was running the women's basketball program into the ground for a decade, nobody cared. Like there wasn't this visceral reaction when they sucked. But when Kim came in and pumped life back into it, people are pumped. So if the team's good, they'll support it. If they're bad, nobody cares. That's a dangerous place to be. Either elation or apathy. But it's just the reality of what it is. And so I know I can't sit, like I know when this season went the way it did, I couldn't sit here and talk Pelicans basketball, but I can talk Zion because I know that you all care about Zion. For, against, pro, con, fat, chiseled, whatever. Shoe exploding, Z shaved into his head, David Griffin playing the piano, all of it. Like, I mean, the Zion storyline always plays. So my question for you is very simply, do you want this organization to trade Zion Williamson? So let's please put that as a poll question if we could, Muse. I would love to know the reaction. I would love to hear your response. So email me, tweet me, text me if you want, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. I may have time at the end of this segment briefly for a freak jury, but I want to remind you, part of this came up because, like, we all know the Zion of it all. When he plays, he's awesome. He is an all-NBA caliber player when he plays. For his career, he is averaging 24-6. I mean, he is a virtual walking double-double when he's healthy and he's on the floor. He turns 25 in July, so he's still a very young man. But he's only played in about 45% of the games in his career available to him. So he's missed a little more than half of every game for his NBA career, which sucks. And the Pelicans have given him $197 million, and you've invested so much. So you kind of look at it and you go, okay, is this just a sunk cost, and do you just move on? Do you get what you can for Zion, realizing you're never going to be able to build around him as a central piece of your organization? And so while he's still 25, and someone sees that he still has high value, and he has a contract, by the way, that has a lot of stipulations and protections against injury, which would allow someone, which would make it an attractive contract to take on for another organization. Like, do you move Zion now? And so, like, there's a lot of proposed trades out there, and there's one I saw today that would have basically Milwaukee trying to trade for Zion to appease Giannis, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, Giannis won an NBA title, and since they won that NBA title as an organization, they face-planted. And they've got to build around him to keep their superstar happy and to want to stay there in Milwaukee. And bringing in a player like Zion, in theory, would do it. It makes sense from the Milwaukee standpoint. It doesn't make a lick of sense from the New Orleans standpoint. The question is, what could you realistically get? Because you look at Zion as a boom potential prospect when he's playing his best, but the injuries and the unavailability is just the gigantic sticking point. So who's going to give you a valuable asset for a high upside, really low downside player like Zion? It's the boom or bust scenario. In my little bitty brain, I sort of dream about the Zion Cooper Flag pairing. I dream about New Orleans winning the draft lottery in a draft that has one mega superstar, but other than that, it's widely considered to be kind of a watered-down draft. If you get Cooper Flagg and you're able to pair him with Zion, awesome. I'd be pumped about that, as we all would be if it played out that way. But that's also not the most likely scenario to unfold. You're going to be healthy next year. You'll get this season was just plagued from the jump because of injuries, and so you'll have a clearer look. Obviously, you've already traded BI, but you'll have a clearer look at what it could look like with everybody being healthy, and then whatever you do add via the draft. But I mean, like, there was another one I saw that was a proposed trade to the Bulls, and it was the Bulls getting Zion and the Pels getting Nikola Vucevic, Kobe White, and Javon Carter. I mean, Vucevic is almost 35 years old. He still averages double-double. Kobe White averaged 20 a game last year for this past season for the Bulls. So, but it's one of those things where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. You can't piece together Nikola Vucevic, Kobe White, and Javon Carter and tell me that equals Zion. It's just not true. So I don't know what you do, man. I mean, my preference is to keep Zion because I know the odds of landing a player like Zion, like New Orleans is never going to get a guy. Like the Mavs are never going to trade Luka to New Orleans. You know what I mean? You have no shot of getting a superstar in their prime in New Orleans any way other than the draft. So what gives you the higher upside? Is it, I mean, let me just move outside of New Orleans. I mean, look at OKC. Look at San Antonio. I mean, OKC at one point had Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook all on the same team. That ain't because they executed some awesome trades. They drafted well. It's the only way you're going to get players like that. And so it's the only way you're going to get someone like Zion. Is why we were pumped we got him. So, I just said we. It's why we were pumped when the Pelicans got him. I deserved it. So, look, Joe Dumars was asked, because there was a piece that Schmidt Dua published in the NO earlier about mid-April. And the line that Schmidt wrote that got a lot of people's attention was, you can pull this up if you want, Paul. It's hard to see, but the line read here. I'll there you go, Paul. You can pull it up. It said, instead of a rebuild, the directive is clear: trade Zion Williamson, retain a coach in Willie Green who lost the locker room, and hope Dumar's fading legacy can paper over systemic dysfunction. The line there where he said the directive is clear, trade Williamson and retain Coach Willie Green, that caught a lot of people's attention. But I think that was more Schmidt's opinion than a reading, the tea leaves of circumstantial evidence than a report. But this was what happened at Joe Dumars' introductory press conference.
None whatsoever. I read that last week. I had a mandate. I was like, if I have, nobody's called me and told me that. Like, no, really, absolutely zero. When me and Mrs. Benson talked, she really just said what she said here. She said to me, she said, Joe, I would love to know what it feels like to win an NBA title. That was it. That was as close to an edict as you would get. And so I intend to do just that, what you just said, was like get to like know people first. Because I don't know the culture inside the building. I don't know the people. I know some of the people. I know Willie. I know someone's going to ask me.
So, I mean, he said very clearly there was no mandate to trade Zion. I don't believe there is. But if the right deal came along, I believe they would. And my opinion is that would be the wrong decision. For all the frustration of the injuries, and you could say, look, this is a sunk cost, move on. I can't get there because the odds of ever getting that opportunity again are so small. So I think you need to, whatever you do, find a way to maximize that guy who can be an all-NBA player when he's healthy. However you get to him, commit to his body, all that sort of stuff. I can't trade him because the potential is way too big. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear it. I would bet this is way more polarizing than the Derek Carr thing. The Carr was like 95% people against. I think this is going to be closer to 50-50 with Z. All right, it's after further review. Let me not got to break, y'all. Our Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Not just healthcare for your lifestyle. You can learn more and schedule that discovery phone call at decisioncriticalbr.com. Quick break. Dalys Beanum, Saints undrafted free agent next.
AFR.
Graduation season's upon us, y'all. Got family coming in town for graduation. Make sure they know about the Watermark downtown and the Renaissance Southdown. Watermark is gorgeous right there downtown Baton Rouge on 3rd Street. Voted by you. The Watermark is voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. Gorgeous. It's part of the autograph collection. You have to see it to believe it if you've never stepped foot inside the old Louisiana National Bank building. It's worth going into the Watermark just to dine at the Gregory or just to sit at the bar and have a cocktail. But if you got family coming in for graduation, how convenient is this? It's walkable to the River Center, if that's where graduation is. It's easily drivable to LSU or Southern, if that's where graduation is. And you can enjoy all that downtown Baton Rouge has to offer when you stay at the Watermark Hotel. Also an excellent place to host any event you have in 2025 or anytime. It's downtown Baton Rouge. Check it out today. It's the Watermark Hotel.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
The final play of the half, McDowell surveys. Arm strength on display. To the goal line. And intercepted. It was picked off. Jackrabbits have it. Dalys Beanum racing back to the 35 before he's tackled there.
Saints came to terms with 11 undrafted free agents last weekend. Among them was South Dakota State cornerback Dalys Beanum, who's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, Dalys, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How about you guys?
Man, awesome. It's a pleasure to have a few minutes with you. Thank you for that. You ever been to New Orleans?
I have been to New Orleans a couple times. It's been a while, though, so I'm excited to get back down there.
Okay. Why were you down here?
Just for a little family trip. It was a quick little weekend trip, and I don't remember too much of it since I was a little younger, but I enjoyed the warm weather whenever I can get down there, so I'm excited to get back down.
Are you still? Are you at home in Omaha, or are you in South Dakota right now?
I'm in Omaha right now.
All right. What's the weather like in Omaha?
The weather right now is 65 degrees. It's sunny out, so it feels really good up here, and I already know I'm going to enjoy this little breeze while I got it up here because I know when I get down there it's going to be a little humid and a little muggy down there.
86 today, dog.
Woo! Hey, I'm ready for it, though. I'm ready for it.
I love it, dude. That's so good. Hey, being from Omaha, are you like a College World Series fan?
Oh, yeah, I used to love going to College World Series. I mean, even though I wasn't a big, baseball fan or, a baseball watcher, whenever the College World Series was in town, I was always at the games, with my friends and everything. But unfortunately, playing college ball, I wasn't able to come back as much. So hopefully sometime in the future I can come back and watch a game. But it's always a good time, especially because they're starting to build up downtown Omaha a lot. So it's a lot better than it was about 10 years ago. So it's always a good time in College World Series.
Are you an LSU baseball fan? Because it's a prerequisite. Everyone in Omaha cheers for the Tigers.
Oh, yeah, we always love cheering for the Tigers, for sure. Always love cheering for the Tigers whenever they come to Omaha.
Dalys, if the football thing doesn't work out, you can come be my co-host. Just come on, move down here to Baton Rouge. You and I will hang out every day. We'll talk some football, talk some baseball, whatever, weather, whatever it may be, all kinds of stuff. Dalys Beanum's our guest. Hey, man, I want to talk about the draft day experience because whenever the draft ends, it's like a mad rush, right? I mean, you got 10, 15 minutes to decide who you're going with. So if you would, walk us through that process. The draft ends. Take it from there. Tell us how that process was for you from there.
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy because at first I was thinking I didn't know what to think. I was just because my agent obviously let me know about there'd be teams, that they're gonna know they're gonna need an answer right away. So I was pretty much have my phone just in my hand, just ready for him to call. And right when he called me, pretty much told me the teams that it was down to. It was down to a few teams, and really, he told me the Saints was a great opportunity for me, and just what I'd be going into, it would be a great opportunity. And it wasn't too hard of a decision for us to make. Right when he said that, I was really, I know my parents are really excited because they're from the southern area. So right when my agent was staying in New Orleans, I was like, man, I mean, that's what we got to do. So I was excited when I made that decision, and now I'm still excited to this day. So I'm glad I made the right decision.
Where are your folks from?
So all my family, my brother, my sister, my dad, and my mom, they're all from kind of the Arkansas area. So just kind of down that way. And, we're in Omaha right now, so in the Midwest. So they want any kind of excuse to get back down south somehow. So they love this news that I got last weekend. So, yeah. That's
so good, man. Hey, did you have who, by the way, you said there was a few teams. Who were the other teams that were calling your agent at that time?
So it was I had interest from the Dolphins, the Browns, and then the Bears. But obviously, like I said, Saints were the only not the only one, but kind of the top choice at the moment at the time because just the opportunity I'd be going into and just what all comes with that decision.
Yeah, the Dalys Beanum's our guest, Saints undrafted free agent, now Saints cornerback Dalys Beanum. Did you have a lot of or any conversations or contact with the Saints through the pre-draft process?
I think my agent talked to some people throughout the Saints, but me personally, I had a scout text me a couple weeks before the draft about it, just kind of hitting me up, and then just asking if this was the right number for me and everything like that, but nothing where it was, for me personally, it wasn't no indication where I was like, oh, I'll be going to the Saints. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it kind of came out the blue for me personally, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and how funny is that though? Like you go through workouts and pro day and all the stuff, and like a team that. So you're saying like you didn't have a workout with a Saint scout or anything like that pre-draft?
Yeah, I didn't have no workout with them or anything.
That's wild, man. But they had eyes on you. Well, another reason they might have, of course, is your teammate a year ago, Isaiah Stallbird, signed with the Saints as a UDFA. It made the team.
Yes, that's my guy.
Yeah, man. So have you talked to him?
Oh yeah, and the crazy thing was I talked to him about maybe like a few days or a week before the draft, and you know he's always been like that kind of big brother type of guy to me. So he was letting me know like what to expect with everything. And crazy enough, like right when that happened, I knew he was going to be one of the first guys I texted, and I hit him up with a call, and he was excited. And I just knew right when I was landing in for the Saints, I knew like, you know, he would help me get through like, you know, the first couple of days and just get adjusted to life down there and everything. So. Yeah, right when it happened, I knew I had to hit him with a call.
Love it, man. So you're here next week for rookie minicamp?
Yes, sir.
Have you had contact yet with the Saints staff or trainers? Any of like the strength and training folks about like what the expectation is between now and when you get down here for rookie minicamp?
I talked to the assistant head coach Mike Martinez. I talked to him a lot, and then. They also got us hooked up onto the Teamworks app, so we know the schedule coming forward. We can just see what's like on the calendar ahead. So I haven't talked to the one-on-one talk to the strength and conditioning coach yet, but I'm excited to get down there, and I'm just ready to work. I'm anxious to work.
When you and your agent talked and you picked New Orleans, you kind of talked a little bit about your family and a lot of the pull and the ties down here. But I would imagine, like honestly, Dallas, one of the cool things about everybody wants to hear their name called, but when you're a UDFA, you get to pick. Like you get to go pick the best spot to try to win a job. And we've had so much conversation here about the cornerback spot because you lost your top two guys from last year. And they traded Lattimore, and then Paulson Adebo is now with the Giants as a free agent. How much did that factor into your decision, knowing you actually kind of have an opportunity just based on the numbers in New Orleans?
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity, like, it sounds great, and that's what my agent also brought up. Like, it's still a room where there's still vet guys to learn from, while it's also still a young room. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy at the fact that I'm allowed to, you know, be a sponge in the classroom, just learn from all these different guys and guys who have, you know, took valuable reps in games and have the experience, but while also being young enough to understand like where I'm coming from and just stuff like that. So I'm excited to join this room, and whether that's the cornerback room or any other defensive back spot, or, you know, obviously I'm going to be ready to play special teams as well. So that opportunity was definitely brought up to the conversation when making a decision with my agent. So, that was definitely brought up.
Did you play special teams with South Dakota State?
Oh, yeah, all 4 or 5 years that I was there, I was special teams. Like early on, I was a gunner on punt. I was playing on kickoff, running down kickoff, and then being a blocker on kickoff return. So I've been doing it all. And then my last couple of years, I started to become more of a returner in the punt return and kick return game. So I've been all over the special teams unit, and I want to bring some energy on that special teams unit.
You know what it's like to win too, man. Won a national championship up there at South Dakota State as well.
2 of them.
Well, excuse me, I do stand corrected. He won 2 of them at South Dakota State.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So coming down, the goal for everybody is to make the team. But if I asked you to get a little more nuanced, what would you say, maybe even in this opening weekend of rookie minicamp next week? What is your goal for that week?
I just want to get down there and just show everyone that I'm there just to work, all business. And like I said earlier, I'm just ready to learn. And I know I'm going to be surrounded by, a great group of guys and people who know the game in its ins and outs. So I'm just excited to just be a sponge and just learn from all the coaches and the players and just develop myself to be a better person. And just so I can just be a valuable part of the team and to just show my value on how I can be part of the team.
You're an advertising major?
Yes, sir. Advertising major, minor in marketing, communication studies.
Let's go. I see. I knew it, bro. So, all right. So, what's your favorite current ad campaign?
Ooh, my favorite one? Oh, one I saw last night because I've been watching the playoffs. I don't even know if it's like what it's really like advertising, but there's an ad with Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. I don't know if you've seen them, but it's a funny commercial because it's talking about how like the Villanova Wildcat guys, like they're all in the New York Knicks, and like seeing one of their guys go to Minnesota, and they kind of broken apart. But it's just a funny ad that I've seen, and I love it every time I see it. But personally, like we did an ad campaign when I was in college for one of my capstone classes for Tide, the laundry detergent, and it was like a year-long campaign, like project, and we had to go up to you guys know where Fargo, North Dakota is at?
Of course.
All the way up north.
Eh? Fargo,
Up
eh?
there. Yeah, but we had to go into a little enemy territory, and I had to give a whole presentation about our ad campaign with like 3 other people, no notes, like it had to go right. Like obviously we prepared, but I had no card in front of me, so I had to memorize the whole presentation. So it was crazy having to give that presentation in front of like hundreds of people too. So doing that ad campaign, it kind of opened my eyes into the real world and just see how an ad campaign is really done. So
I think the ad was an AT&T ad, but
yeah, the AT&T, yes sir.
But Dallas,
yes,
see, that's that's a lesson learned, man. It was memorable, but you didn't remember that it was AT&T. And
that's what I'm saying.
You got to make sure, man, you brand those sponsors, man. You make sure you brand, bro. You got to make sure people know the name.
You're right.
Hey, man, this is fun. I appreciate it. Good luck to you, dude. We'll keep in touch. All right, and I appreciate a few minutes. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate you guys.
No, it's our pleasure. That is Dalys Beanum, Saints cornerback Dalys Beanum from South Dakota State. I hope that guy makes the team. God, I hope that guy makes the team. I want him to make the team, and then I want him to come on the show every week. I don't care if he comes on the show just to tell us his favorite commercial from the week or something.
He was good. I like him a lot.
He's so good. Tell me your favorite New Orleans food, Dalys. Whatever you want to do. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. Maybe we should have asked Dalys if he needs LASIK. Because if he needs LASIK, I'll hook him up with Dr. Blake Williamson. We can add him to the athlete wall. You go onto the Williamson Eye Center campus, on the Baton Rouge General campus, or if you turn off a Bluebonnet onto, was it Picardy right there? Why do I always forget the name of that? You know what I'm talking about. You turn off a Bluebonnet on the road right there. It runs toward the Baton Rouge General. Suma maybe? Anyway, it's Suma. Yeah, it's Suma. And then right there at the stop sign, the first one. You know, the road where you turn off a Bluebonnet like you're heading toward the General, and then right there on the corner, that building, the first 2 floors, that's a Williamson Eye Center. Eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. You go to the second floor, you'll see their big athlete wall. Devin White, Caleb Von Chasson, Paul Maneri, Patrick Coogan. Paul Maneri played baseball. It was a long time ago, but he played baseball. You'll see dozens of athletes that have trusted their sight, their vision, to Dr. Blake Williamson. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back. We did talk earlier in the show, if you missed it in hour 1, about Nick Anderson being in a way too early first-round mock draft for next year. What we didn't talk about is what they had the Saints doing in that mock draft. We'll talk about that next. It's
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Hey, remember, download the Rouse's app if you haven't done that. Always encourage you to do that because you can always it may not be today in this moment, but there's going to be a day, there's going to be a time where you're short on time, you need a few things, and you need to save a few minutes. Remember, at Rouse's, it's easy. You pull up the app, you select your items, your personal shopper goes and picks them out for you. And if you spend $35, the service is free. You pull into one of the designated spots, the curbside pickup spots, and they bring your items out to your car. You go without even getting out of your vehicle. It's available at Rouse's, so download the Rouse's app, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, or on the Rouse's app. Of course, congrats again to Rouse's. Voted by you The best grocery store in the best of Baton Rouge, Rouses.com. Rouses, this feels like home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Hey, Muse, are people voting in the poll yet?
I'm sure they are. Let's look. Profile. Oh, good. Look, we've already, yes, people are voting in the poll.
What's the results so far?
Okay, so the question, do you want the Pelicans to trade Zion Williamson? So far, 68.6% say yes.
Dang it. We got time.
Yeah, plenty. We got time. Like 23 hours left.
I have a feeling, so you're going to get go to the @1045 ESPN on Twitter, X, whatever, and vote in the poll. We might come back and do a freak jury later. I asked this question at the top of the hour. Do you want the Saints to trade Zion? I kind of have a feeling it's a lot of pissed off fans that are just tired of the injuries, and they're not thinking rationally or logically about the true opportunity that you'd ever have to get a player like that again. And you traded Chris Paul, you traded AD. What do you think's going to happen to the organization? You've seen it twice already. You don't trade generational players, man. Because you're not the odd. You say, well, the odds of getting them again. Well, you got Paul and AD. You did. So in Zion. So in 20 plus years, you've gotten 3 of them. You know. All right, go vote. I don't really like doing mock drafts. I don't really care especially way too early mock drafts, it's kind of a fruitless exercise. So I'm not here to like pound the table and react to the fact that Jordan Reed did a way too early mock draft at ESPN.com for 2026. What's interesting about it though is less, where they have teams projected to go. They had the draft order based on the Vegas win totals, right? How they're projected to finish. So the Saints picked 8th, one spot behind the Rams. And I won't bury the lead. They have the Saints taking Drew Aller, the quarterback from Penn State, at number 8. Now, I don't love that because I watched Drew Aller against elite teams, and he stinks. Good size, but that's not a guy that I think is going to transition to be a good NFL quarterback. He's just not – you saw him in the playoff game. He's not very good against elite teams. I guess he can continue to grow and develop, but I don't really care. That's a different conversation for a different day. The bigger question there, or the bigger thing that's the takeaway for me, is that Cade Klubnik 1, Lenoris Sellers 4, all right, Garrett Nussmeier 7 to the Rams, and then Drew Aller 8 to the Saints. So that was 4 quarterbacks in the top 8. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's going to fall next year. Remember, there was a time where in one of these, I want to remind you of this, and this will be contextually appropriate right now. There was a time at one of the way too early mock drafts that had Spencer Rattler as the number 1 pick in the draft. Didn't even work out so well. He lost his job at Oklahoma. He transferred to South Carolina, became a 5th-round pick, and now, I don't know, I'm sure he'll make the team this year with New Orleans, but is he going to be certainly, I wouldn't assume he's going to be the starter, but we'll see how it all plays out. So take a mock draft for what it's worth. It's more to give you a launching point of what scouts, NFL scouts, think about this year's crop of quarterbacks and what's out there. Because if the Saints are, in fact, going to be looking for a quarterback again, it's an indicator of where you might be. Because one of the conversations that a lot of Saints fans have thrown out this year, and we've talked about the Tyler Shuck component of this year's draft, is you should have waited till next year when it's a deeper quarterback draft class to pick your quarterback. And one of the things that I always retort with is, or rebut with, is, yeah, but you don't control that. Like, notice there was no Arch Manning there either. And there's sort of an assumption by many that Arch is going to stay at Texas as the starter for 2 years. So keep in mind, I just rattled off 4 names for you in the top 8. One of them was not Arch Manning. So that could be 5 if he does come out, potentially. We'll see how it all goes. But it is a deep class. But what if you are picking 8th and there isn't a quarterback you like at 8? Then what do? I guess it's just sort of to reinforce the idea that if they like Tyler Shuck and he was on the board at 40, I'm okay taking him there if that fell in line with their board. Because it's easy to say, oh, well, then you trade up for a quarterback. Okay, what if no team ahead of you is willing to trade their pick? It's just that there's variables you don't control. If you controlled the variables, then we have a different conversation. But you don't. Like the conversation we had this year, where Mickey Loomis said, and there was reports, they tried to move. They tried to move up from 40 and back from 9. But you can't just snap your fingers and do it. You have to have a willing trade partner. If you don't have a partner, then you make a pick right there. And you can't say, well, we'll pass on Shuck at 40 and we'll take a quarterback later, because what if there's not another quarterback on the board that you like later in the draft? So I guess that's all to say. Even with this, Shuck may bust. It may go belly up this year. He may stink, and you may know within preseason that Tyler Shuck is more Deshaun Kaiser than he is Jalen Hurts, right? He's going to be more Christian Hackenberg than Derek Carr. And I mentioned that because we ran through the list earlier this week of every second-round draft pick at quarterback dating back to 2013. And the only 2 guys that really have become starters, you throw Drew Lock from Missouri in that mix as well. Maybe he's more Christian Hackenberg, less Geno Smith, who was also a second-round pick who became a starter. But anyway, I just found that really interesting, that there were that many quarterbacks there in the top 8 4 of the top 8 picks, quarterbacks. But it's hard for me to wrap my brain around. Like, let me say it another way. Would you be pumped if the Saints used the top 10 pick on Drew Aller? Muse Pauly, would you be pumped if the Saints used a top 10 pick on Drew Aller?
Absolutely not.
Okay, why not?
Same deal. I mean, I get it. He's got the measurables, he's got the size. I'm sure he'll test well. But when you turn on the games, he just hasn't performed for 3 years at Penn State.
Pauly, you're a Saints guy. You have a big fleur-de-lis on the back glass of your truck right next to the subwoofers. Would you be pumped if they drafted Drew Aller?
I would not.
What about Lenora Sellers?
No.
Muse Lenora Sellers?
No.
Cade Klubnik?
Sure, I'd give that a go.
Paul, Cade Klubnik?
That would spark my interest a little bit.
And then Nuss. We, of course, we're all homers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all, of course. Yeah.
Nuss bus, man.
Yeah,
the dumpster fire for Nussmeier.
We've been talking about dumpster fire for Nussmeier for 5 years.
Shout out Terrio.
He
nailed it, man.
I mean, he did it as a bit.
Yeah.
But I'll be damned. He may have connected there on the dumpster fire for Nussmeier. I mean, the steps that need to fall into place over many years to make that happen have kind of fallen into place to make that happen. Anyway, so again, all that to say, the conversation we just had, like, would you rather Tyler Shuck at 40 or Drew Aller at 8?
Shuck at 40.
Pauly?
Shuck at 40.
Okay. Sometimes you have to add context to the conversation to make this make sense. So that's why I'm okay with the Shuck pick at 40. And it may go belly up, but you'll never know until you do it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Hey, remember, over at Shaw Bills, they're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they guarantee the lowest price. As a matter of fact, it's part of their Charlie's Dozen, which is a dozen benefits extended to you when you buy tires at Shaw Bills. Part of it is if you buy tires at Shaw Bills and you find them advertised somewhere cheaper, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. They just guarantee you they're going to get you the best price on tires. Right now, you can get up to $160 back when you buy a set of 4 select Firestone tires over at Shaw Bills. That good is offered all throughout the month of May. You can see the store or visit ShawBillsTire.com for full details. Go to ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. All right, Kendall Rogers in 15 minutes from right now. Preview the weekend ahead. Big one tonight with Arkansas against Texas in the SEC. Arkansas all of a sudden has lost 3 straight weekends in the conference. Texas, despite losing their ace, sweeps Texas A&M. Kendall Rogers was in Baton Rouge last week eating gumbo and whatnot. Got a lot to talk about with Kendall coming up here in about 15 minutes. Usually do Tigers and the Pros next. Stay far.
After Further Review.
I highly recommend men learn about the benefits of hormone replacement therapy. Listen, for whatever reason, I get with Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, we talk about it. People laugh at the name, the logo, all the funny puns, the springboard sound effect. It's fun. I get it. It's funny. But hormone replacement therapy is a very real thing that can lead you to better overall health, better heart health, better prostate health, better mood, better libido, all of those things, how you feel in every aspect of your life. There's so much research. Learn more or just schedule a consultation over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Do the blood labs and let them walk you through the possibilities. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Learn more. YourGoodWood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
You're just going right down the list on 10, aren't you?
Yep. We're almost done.
Yeah, you're just going right.
I've gone out of order a couple times.
I was going to say, you're not done. This is Garden. Garden is
track 9 out of 11 is what I'm showing on the full album here.
How many have you played from 10 so far?
See, we didn't play Porch. We've played every other one.
Okay, you got to play Porch.
I got to find a clean version of that because I started it and like the first word is the one that we played earlier. So we'll get to Porch.
Just go to the refrain.
Okay.
That's the key for all. Just go to the refrain.
Yeah.
All right. Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Hey.
All right, we'll start NBA playoffs
Wrong button.
From a night ago. Nas Reed.
Should have stayed.
He should have because he didn't have a great night last night. I mean, he blocked 3 shots. That's awesome. But he only scored 3 points.
What I've been saying for years.
Nas started that series dropping 23.
I'm going to tell you what.
I mean, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Well, he's
winning.
He's on to the next round.
Winning.
Dominant series there for the T-Wolves.
They're a good team.
They are a good team, and they beat the Lakers, so I love them for that. Tari Eason had 9 and 5 a night ago in 19 minutes off the bench, 4 of 5 from the floor. Rockets not going quietly in that one.
Going back to Cali. Cali. Going back to Cali.
They are.
Styling, profiling.
They are.
Going back to Cali.
Alex Bregman hit his 7th home run of the year. No.
Well, he should have been.
Nope. Well, he's not even from the state.
Well, he should have been.
Hit his 7th home run a night ago for Boston. 1 for 4. It was the only hit, but obviously a big one. 328 so far for Breggs on the year, man. Notoriously a slow starter. Apparently not anymore. Josh Smith. There you go. Couple of Josh Smith notes to get for you here. Just the one hit a night ago, but did draw a walk. That got him back up over 300. Played a game today, just got a pinch hit AB, went 0 for 1, so he's down to 299, but still having an awesome year. Lastly, it was Paul Skeen's shove day up in the Berg, and not much shoving going along for Paul Skeens today. 5 innings, 3 earned, walked 4, struck out just 2, gave up 3 bombs to the Cubbies. That's loss number 3. 3-3 so far for Skeens. The Pirates are rubbing off on him, and I don't like it. That's Tigers in the pros.
Mac Chiuili from Traction texted me something about what Skeens could do. Because he's a Cubs fan.
Yeah, and your bet. Yeah.
We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Was over at the Parish office earlier today. See all the Parish Restoration Sprinter vans that you see running all over town. They got the hose system wired through those Sprinter vans, so when they come to your house, your office, your vehicle, wherever it may be, your work, they just pull the hose out of there. Boom, go work. I tell you, it's easy. They spray their patented non-toxic dry fog, close the doors, the windows, they let it dwell. As soon as the fog dissipates, you're back in, free, clear, free of harmful pathogens, mold, bacteria, odor. parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com.
After further review.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. A Game 6 playoff six-pack tonight in the NBA. And here on ESPN Radio, starting at 9:30 Eastern, the Clippers host the Nuggets. Denver leading the series 3-2. Clippers coach Ty Lue.
Like I said, protect the three-point line, do a better job with that. I think whoever wins the three-point battle has won the games. And then I think, like I said, just starting with that defensive mindset to start the game. We can't let them get out early and keep playing catch-up and playing from behind. That's what we've been doing the last 3 games.
Ty Lue also tonight, Game 6 in Detroit with the Knicks leading the Pistons 3-2. 4 more sixth games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. 3 home teams will try to force Game 7. The Senators host the Maple Leafs. The Wild host the Golden Knights at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. The Avalanche host the Stars. And in Edmonton tonight, 10 Eastern on ESPN, the Oilers can eliminate the Kings with a win. The Yankees moved DH Giancarlo Stanton to the 60-day injured list today. He hasn't played this season with tendinitis in his elbows. There's no timetable for his return.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tumpley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Saints UDFA Elliot Davison in 30 minutes from right now. But right now it is Thursday, heading into the SEC baseball weekend. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, good enough to hang for a few minutes. Yo, man, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. It took me like 24 to 48 hours to recover from that late game last Friday night, but it was well worth it.
Baton Rouge, even without games that go into the middle of the night, can have that effect on people. Okay, so give me so Kendall was in Baton Rouge for LSU, Tennessee. Give me your takeaway from the weekend.
Yeah, I think my big takeaway was that I was not expecting LSU to finish that series by run-ruling Tennessee. I really thought, Friday, Liam Doyle dominates for much of the game. Cade Anderson, by the way, did really well also. But, you get to the end of that game, and I've always said this is why I have the box at the top of my list in terms of big series, postseason environments. It's the box and everybody else, because at the box, if you give LSU an inch, they will take like 100 feet. And what happened is Tennessee with Dean Curley, a couple of errors here and there, a couple of base hits. All of a sudden, Jared Jones hits the ball to the moon. LSU wins. Well, Tennessee comes back in game 2. Marcus Phillips looked awesome for the Vols, and it was like, okay, well, Tennessee, had a chance to really win the first game, probably should have. They, dominate the second game, and so, and then you're thinking, okay, maybe, Tennessee has kind of corrected things going into Sunday. Then what happens? Casey Evans struggles in inning 1, but he's awesome the rest of the way. And then my man Derek Curiel just took over. And so I thought LSU was the aggressor on Sunday, and I did not think LSU was the aggressor early in the first 2 games.
Where do you think I think we know what's ahead for LSU. Where does the series loss leave Tennessee?
Yeah, I think they're in a position to where if they lost the Auburn series this weekend at home, which I don't think they're going to do, I think they would be in a position where the last couple of weekends they're going to have to take care of business to be a top 8. Right now, I feel really good about LSU and Tennessee, but if you're the Vols, you really want to establish some consistency. I mean, this is now a team that, as impressive as they are at times, I mean, they've lost 3 out of the last 4 series, and that's troublesome. No matter if you're playing LSU or if you're playing in a mid-major conference.
He's Kendall Rogers on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. So you mentioned Tennessee at Auburn. I guess that's a good segue there.
Yeah.
What's the storyline in that weekend in Knoxville?
Yeah, I think the big thing for me with Tennessee, I mean, obviously, can they play much more consistent defense? And I think the other big thing for me with Auburn is, can Auburn go to Knoxville and kind of slow Tennessee down? Auburn, pitching wise, obviously Sam Deven's been really good for much of the year. But that is a team that pitching wise has been a little bit up and down at times. Can they go to Lindsey Nelson in that ballpark and keep the balls at bay? If they can, there's no doubt. The Tigers with Ike Irish and Bub Terrell and those guys. There's no doubt they can hit with them. Can they pitch with them? That's the question.
The SEC weekend starts tonight with a pretty massive weekend with Texas at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Look, Baum-Walker's always a tough place to play, but my goodness, Kendall, I don't know how you felt about Texas and A&M last week. I saw an A&M team that was surging. Texas loses their ace in Jared Spencer, and I thought Texas was ripe for the picking, and all they do is sweep A&M. So, I mean, now they're on the road. Like, make sense of this against an Arkansas team that's now lost 3 straight weekends.
Yeah, this feels like the weekend that they could take a hit a little bit. I think when you look at Texas, I mean, I don't think any Jim Schlossingle team is going to go into the weekend and go, we don't care about this. But I do think for Texas, I mean, they literally could probably lose every single series the rest of the way, go 0-1 in Hoover, and it doesn't matter. They're still a top 8. That's how good UT's resume is. And so I think Arkansas has a lot of urgency, kind of like Tennessee with 3 out of the last 4 series losses. I think if you're Arkansas and you lose 4 straight series, and then you've got to go to LSU, I do not want to be in that position, because I can tell you right now, they probably are not a top 16 host with 5 straight series losses, and nor should you be. So I think this is a really big weekend for Arkansas. I think if they can win this series over Texas, it takes a lot of pressure off the Hawks going in Alex box. And then, but let's give Texas a lot of love, man. Those guys, A&M had the tying run and the winning run on base in all 3 games. And Dylan Volantis, Grayson Saunier and Ole Miss kickback. All of those guys made really big pitches in big moments. And, Texas reminds me a lot of 2021 Arkansas. If you remember back to that Kevin Kopp's team, it was almost like they couldn't try to lose a series. Everything kind of went their way. And the interesting thing about Texas that's kind of happening with them, and guess who's kind of leading the way? It's their closer, Dylan Volantis. So a lot of parallels there. I'm not saying they're going to get knocked down in the Super, but you just wonder, can they keep this level of just outrageous consistency up? To be determined.
Well, that's a good segue to talk about LSU now going on the road to College Station. Yeah. Kendall, I kind of look at this A&M team, and you know far better than I, but after a weekend like that, you do one of 2 things. You either crater or your back's against the wall and you come out fighting. What do you suspect is the makeup of this A&M team after last weekend?
I would say after, the series win at Arkansas, the series win at Tennessee, I think you look at Texas, and I was on an A&M show earlier this week, and I said, man, I don't know how you look at the weekend and go, I feel horrible about it, because you had a chance to win all 3 games. And so I think for A&M, you go into the weekend. I mean, they're obviously going to have really good crowds. I still think they're very offensive. They had plenty of hits against Texas. They just could not get a hit with runners in scoring position. Their starting pitchers do well against Texas. I think the big key to this series is if you're LSU, Weston Moss, A&M's key reliever, was a little under the weather last weekend in Austin. My hunch is, he's probably getting over that or whatever illness he had. I think the key for LSU is get into A&M's bullpen. I think you'll see Jay have those guys take a lot of pitches to try to get those starting pitchers out of the game. That'll be the big key. But I think it's going to be a really good series. I think both of these teams offensively are in a really good spot, and it's going to be up to the bullpens to kind of figure things out, which will make things interesting if Kason Evans does indeed start on Sunday, which, by the way, I do think he should start on Sunday.
Do you think, because Kendall, that's obviously been a talking point here, and
yeah.
my opinion is I think I know what Jay's going to do, which is if he has a chance to win, he's going to put Kason, games 1 or 2, he's going to put Evans out there. You disagree? You think that Even if they, like, let's say game one, same situation. Anderson goes 7 1/3, but you're up 3-2. You don't go to Evans there?
Yeah. Here's my thing, especially in the position that LSU is in. LSU is in a position right now to where as long as they, win an Arkansas series and don't play their last 2 weekends, they're probably a top 8. You're not going to get hit by losing a series 2-3 on the road to A&M. But I think as you look ahead of the postseason, you look ahead to the ultimate goal, in a regional and in a super, you want to have 3 starters that you feel you can rely on. And if I'm Jay Johnson, I do not want to go to a regional even putting myself in a situation to where I'm throwing Case and Evans out of the bullpen on Saturday, and then my Sunday spot is just, I would say it's a mess. I don't think anything LSU related on a Sunday was a mess in the past, but I don't want to leave any doubt. And I think for a freshman like that going into the postseason, I don't want him thinking all weekend, okay, what position are they putting me in the game in? If you go into the postseason and Casey Evans knows he's starting on Sunday in the regional championship game, that's where his mindset is. It's not, okay, when am I going into the game? And so I just like the stability there. And here's my thing, Matt. I think if you're LSU, if you're going to win the national championship, guess what? You're going to need more than Zach Cowan out of the bullpen stepping up and providing meaningful innings. If he's the only guy doing it because you're starting Casey on Sunday, you're probably not winning the national championship anyway.
We can go very deep into that conversation, but the other thing is true is in the postseason, you got to get performances from people you're not counting on. And it'll be interesting to see who those guys are that may step up.
Yeah, and I'll add this too. Like, I don't think Jay not making him a starter is some egregious decision. That's just, if I'm looking at LSU and the goal is the national championship, that's what I think they should do and prepare him to be in that role moving forward.
You get him on Twitter at Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com. We're short on time here, but anything else from the weekend, a series we haven't talked yet that really jumps out to you that we need to be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, very quickly. How about Clemson at Florida State? I mean, number 3 against number 5. Clemson gets swept over the weekend last weekend against NC State. Florida State, needs this series win this weekend to kind of solidify things in the top 8. And then Ole Miss and Oklahoma is really interesting real quick, just because that could end up determining a potential host spot in the top 16. So those are 2 pretty big series going into the weekend.
Postseason's almost here. D1Baseball.com. Get him at Kendall Rogers. We always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Be good, buddy.
All right, man. We'll see you. That's Kendall Rogers. It's AFR. In about 18 minutes, bottom of this hour, we'll talk to Elliot Davison, Saints undrafted free agent rookie. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We'll continue.
AFR.
And I love telling you about Duplessis Builders because, of course, if you're going to live in Louisiana and you don't have a pool, God bless you during the summer months. I'll never own a home again without a pool. It's my son loves it. It's life-changing, not only just because it's good for us for relaxation and outdoor, but it's therapy for him as well. So we love it. If you've ever been on the fence about building a pool at your home, do it. But start with Duplessis Builders and go to the website, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net. Top of the homepage on the bar, you'll see where it says Your Book. That is their guide to building a pool. So you'll know everything about every step of the process, made easy, it's comprehensive, it's for you, and then you'll go through that process with Duplessis Builders. I know I say this often, but it bears mentioning again. If you're thinking of building a pool and you're going to talk to a bunch of companies, ask everyone else why they don't offer a 10-year workmanship warranty, and then hire Duplessis Builders.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Pearl Jam, and the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Countdown is on, Muse. How many seconds?
You're the one who's supposed to know.
We're
how
not
many
counting
seconds.
days, weeks, months. We're not counting hours or minutes. We're down to the seconds today.
Okay. Let's see. You're inside of 48 hours now because it's 5:18. It's 5:17.
God, this is going to be so hard now. 47 hours and 42 minutes, right?
I mean, that's where we were last time. It was 42 minutes.
47, 42.
We were 48 hours,
Siri,
42 minutes.
how many seconds are in 47 hours and 42 minutes?
171,720 seconds.
171,720 seconds. So actually we're at 171,730 seconds.
There we go.
Until I get to watch Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam take the stage at Jazz Fest. First time in 15 years. Crank it up, yeah!
I mean, I wouldn't say
You
skipped.
skipped it.
I was just going to find an edited version, and you were like, well, just go to the refrain.
Can I just go now? Can I just leave right now and go wait?
And let's go tailgate.
I just want to go there now, just right now. Like one of those Mr. Beast videos. How long can you stay in a grocery store and every day is like you get $1,000 or $100,000?
Whoa. I mean, you pulled Drake? earlier, and now that's a Mr. Beast
Well,
reference?
Mr. Beast is the number one guy on YouTube.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense, actually.
come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm the YouTube guy.
Yeah, that's why I backtracked. I was like, actually, wait. No, that does make sense. Yeah.
If I just went and stayed at Jazz Fest from now all the way through the end of Pearl Jam, like, you think they'd let me on stage or something?
No.
Oh, man.
No.
But I think they would, like, give me some VIP something or other? Let me climb one of the barricades?
No, probably not.
A little side stage?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because you stayed there for a long time, and doesn't
They're like,
mean
man, this guy's loyal. Hey, this guy's been just sitting here for 4 days.
Yeah.
I know we're down to 2 days, but
yeah, we are. We're down to seconds, as you said.
171,000 of them.
Yeah, 171,000 of them.
You almost skipped Porch.
I was gonna find an edited version and play it, but you were just like, go to the refrain. So I was like, okay, we'll do that. Refrain or chorus? Why do we need two different names for the same part of the song? That bothers me. Continue. I'm sorry.
There's probably an answer to that because it's probably not the same, I would think. But that is an aggressive start to a song.
You're very aggressive. I'll be honest. I told you, like, there are certain songs by Pearl Jam that I would hear and I'd be like, oh, wait, okay, I didn't know. I don't want to say I didn't know that was him because, I mean, Eddie Vedder, you know his voice. But I've never heard that song.
Oh, you never heard Porch? Yeah.
And I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go find a cleaner
it'll punch you right in the face.
It will. It did.
It's not the first word.
No.
It's the third.
But
yeah.
I mean, good enough.
It's the third word. I mean, it
might as well be the first.
Might as well be.
Yeah.
But when you hear that, you know it's time.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's time.
Well, that's good. I'll be going back listening to that. That was
Yeah.
that was good. Awesome. Good pump up jam there, man. Get you going.
I mean, I've just been like all week in my car. I rarely ever listen to music anymore. You know, I'm mostly listening to this station or content that I podcast or things that I want to consume. Very seldom do I ever listen to music anymore. Oh, man. It's been counting down the seconds to Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
It's always all I've been. I just fall in love with them all over again. Music, it's been 15 years. That's probably why I'm this. It's been 15 years. I've been thinking about, like, the last time I saw him was Jazz Fest 2010. You know? And
that's a long time to go without seeing your favorite band.
Yes.
Yes. And they are your favorite
And I
band.
saw them so many times in a very compressed time period. My 20s and early 30s. And then it's just been this long period since I've seen them. I'm so fired up.
I can tell.
And they're going to be old, too.
Yeah.
You know, like Eddie's 60.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, Siri, how old is Eddie Vedder? I think he's 60.
Eddie Vedder is 60 years old.
60. So I nailed it. I mean,
you're on fire today.
I'm on fire.
You're on fire today.
But like, so he's 60.
Yeah.
But they still rock hard, man. It's so good. I can't wait.
Maybe they'll open with Porch since it's got that punch you in the face. Like, that gets the crowd going to open, man.
So, like, if he just walked out there, and it's a cold open to that song, too. So it's like, if he just walked out and went right into it, that's a great opener.
I mean,
Let me see. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, that would get the people going. Because you always want to start the show fast and then maybe, go into a little bit of your other stuff and then end with the bang. But, I mean, that would, whew.
I saw them in Cleveland in 2006. To your point about opening with a bang, they opened with Last Kiss. Yeah. So they don't always. Like, and another interesting thing, not that everybody actually cares about this, Eddie writes every set list in calligraphy. So
I didn't know that.
So one of the things he learned calligraphy just being on the road so much. So he takes the time before every show to write the set list in calligraphy. So on a lot of the Pearl Jam social media, they'll post the let's see,
like the handwritten picture of it, or just Oh, that's pretty cool. Have everybody looking up calligraphy to try to decipher what the set list is.
Oh, no. I mean, look here. Here's one. I just pulled one up on, look at Atlanta 1. So the first night in Atlanta, this is his calligraphy set list. So you'll see how he'll make notes about how you go from one song to another, where they'll have a stop. the 2 bars is where they go to the encore, second, whatever, all that sort of stuff. So, so cool.
That's pretty cool.
They did Porch. Look at that. They finished the main set list there with Porch before they went to the encore.
That's another good spot for it.
Yep.
I mean, that's another good spot for it.
Let's see. Man, he had one. Wow. 3 encores.
That's so good,
They did
dude.
Baba O'Reilly. How about did Spin the Black Circle, Alive, and Baba O'Reilly, which they do a lot. They do Baba O'Reilly. They cover
they?
Baba O'Reilly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for those that don't know. That's Teenage Wasteland, The Who. And they came back and did Indifference. Boy, what a really good set list. There is no such thing as a bad set list for Pearl Jam, but they're all different. Like it's not like like when I went to the Taylor Swift show with Erica, she does the same.
Yeah, for like
the Eras tour was the same thing. I mean, it's great. And there's little things they do different, but for the most part, it's the same. It's the same show.
It's like, are you saying like every night they do it? Like when they're out, every night they do a different set list?
They do a different set list, every night.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, they don't repeat the same set list. So, and a lot, he's talked about a lot. It's a lot about, what he's feeling that day and that crowd. And like, it's a very feel thing they talked about. So I'm excited. Very excited. I just want to leave right now and go. I told Erica.
You're going to be checked out come Terrio time tomorrow.
I'm checked out right now.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about, like, Pete Nakos had a report. I mean, I told you this yesterday, but the A.J. Halsey, the safety from Houston, I told y'all LSU had been out there spending, and they were going to spend on this kid. And so today, remember, it was down to LSU in Miami. Miami took a safety today from the University of Tennessee. So Nakos now is reporting that Halsey is trending to LSU. Which, I mean, I told you yesterday, his NAL or his on-3 NAL valuation was like $400K, and I was told yesterday LSU's paying the offer is more than that. I mean, I think it's going to work out. I don't know. It could. Like, there could always be something that changes. I mean, look at Bryce Underwood. It could always change. I mean, that will be forever the preeminent example of it ain't never done until it's done. So we'll see. But I mean, this would be huge. I mean, this is a guy that's a safety that could play strong or free, and we've talked about him plenty. I was talking about him yesterday. We were going through all the Pro Football Focus grades, and I was giving you an illustration of his compared to every LSU safety this year. And his overall defensive grade was like an 80.5, and the highest rated LSU safety was Sage Ryan at like 69. And, I mean, Jordan Gilbert, although I always thought the caveat with Gilbert because he was playing with one arm. His safety was his grade was like a 53. And someone said, oh, it's lesser competition. Bro, he was still in the Big 12. And I would argue that's even more impressive being on Houston's defense in the Big 12 with that kind of grade. It's still that kind of grade. It's still better than what you had. I mean, you want me to go look at the game by game grades of LSU safeties against nickels and lesser competition? I mean, none of it was good. So, and you're adding Tamarcus Cooley, and if you add Halsey here, which it sounds like you will, and you know what else I'm excited about if they get him? I know it's Halsey, Haulcy, but it sounds a lot like Halsey.
It does. In fact, I thought that's what it was at first.
Like the singer?
Yep. She's good.
Love me some Halsey.
I know you do.
No, I just said Halsey, but I meant
did.
Halsey. Love me some Halsey. Fell in love with Halsey when she hosted SNL years ago. She was the host and the musical guest. And it was one of those when you're that good and you can't tell if the host is a cast member or the host. A lot of times you could tell, right, in the acting part of it.
I'd say most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
With that one, I was like, dude, she could have been a cast member. She was awesome. Anyway. Okay, I got to go. Yeah, sorry. I just got lost in my thoughts, Muse.
You're checked out. It's fine.
Well, I wasn't until I just sang 3 minutes of Porch. Like, I was doing really good. I was doing really good today, I think. I was doing good.
Yeah, it was good.
Had a really good interview with Dalys Beanum.
He was so good.
I love him. I hope he makes the team. Hey, Ellen, do the right thing.
Ellen Moore.
It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 and Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Go see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. Y'all, we tell you about everything that you want in your yard. The flowers, the plants, the trees, the shrubs, the soil, the mulch, the everything. Johnny Naylor Seeds. They also have the things for what you don't want in your yard. If you want those Aeon mosquito barriers I tell you all the time, y'all, I'm telling you, you can pay for expensive mosquito treatments. We have a pool and water behind our house. The only thing I do is I buy the Aeon mosquito barrier from Clegg's. It's the size of a track baton. You take off the top, got the granules in it, put water to the fill line, shake it up, hang it on your property line. You're done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You need ant killer, weed killer, snake away, any of that stuff. They got it. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Rolling along here, 5 o'clock hour, Thursday AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Always enjoy these conversations. Guys trying to earn a roster spot after the draft. Elliot Davison from UTSA, safety, signed with the New Orleans Saints. Good enough to hang out with us for a couple of minutes here. Elliot, it's our pleasure, man. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm doing well. Yes, sir.
Love it, man. Hey, so you're a Tyler, Texas guy, and you went to 2 different schools in San Antonio with Incarnate Word and then UTSA. Maybe if you would, talk to me a little bit about that transition going from Incarnate Word to UTSA and why you made that decision in your college career.
Oh, well, I definitely want to start off by saying, I definitely enjoyed my time at Incarnate Word. It was a great experience, no regrets there at all. It had just been, multiple coaching changes, year after year. And that was the opportunity as well, with the transfer portal going on and things really blowing up in that world. That was my, opportunity to play ball at a higher level,
Sure.
and just get out there on a bigger stage, and showcase my skills and things like that. So, going to UTSA, it was a great transition for me. I already, I had a good friend of mine that's even from Tyler, Texas, Jamal Legan. He was already there at the time, so I had been keeping up with UTSA for a while now. So yeah, it felt like home too when I went on the visit. So it was an easy transition and a great atmosphere to be a part of.
13 games started this past year at safety for the Roadrunners. So you go into the pre-draft process. Did you have any conversations or workouts at all with the Saints throughout the pre-draft process?
No, so I didn't have any workouts or anything like that. But at the pro day, Coach Terry Joseph was there, and he was the one taking us through, the DB drills. So, he kind of, was able to see me firsthand, and I think that's what really, kind of got me in the door,
And, of course, Terry Joseph was a New Orleans native, but was coaching at the University of Texas and now joined the New Orleans Saints staff. So did you have any familiarity with Coach Joseph before that?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting whenever, because whenever it just goes to show like how much work these teams do scouting every player. Because you're saying like clearly they knew about you, even though they didn't kind of tip their hand that they knew about you. When the draft ended, how many teams were calling you about a UDFA opportunity?
I was in conversation with I'd say three or four teams. Yeah. So it was a few teams. They called and reached out.
We talked about this a good bit with the audience, but how that goes is, man, the draft ends and you got like 10 minutes, right? Your agent calls. It's like you got an opportunity. It's like it's a yes or a no because they got to move on to the next guy. If it's
right.
So, did you know that? Like, were you ready for that to make a decision that quickly?
I didn't know until I was told. I was told about this. Me and my agent had talked about it, and actually a scout from another organization had actually talked to me about that. And just like you said, after the draft ends, it gets a little hectic for the people that are still in free agency. So me and my agent were just we were making a list of the teams and the pros and cons of different teams. Just trying to have that list together so that, like you said, when these phone calls happen, I can be able to put opportunity.
Sure. So when you look at the Saints, and Elliot Davison, safety from UTSA, is now New Orleans Saints safety, is our guest. What were the pros and the cons for New Orleans? Probably more pros since you picked the Saints, but what did you like about the opportunity in New Orleans?
Well, for one, the Saints had been my my favorite team just growing up. So that was just that was kind of a mind blowing thing. To know that they were a team that I've grown up watching and loving to watch and taking interest in me. So that was just kind of like a dream come true type of thing. And I just like the style of play and the players that have been there in the past. There, I just like the culture, that it brings.
Okay. How do you grow up in Tyler, Texas, and you don't end up a Cowboys fan? By the way, Elliot, I'm pumped, bro. You know how many people live in North Louisiana that are Cowboys fans that sort of shun the Saints? Like, it hurts my heart, man, to hear a dude from Texas going, I ride with the black and gold and Who Dat Nation. How does that happen?
Man, even though, I'm a part of the Saints now, even, people at my church and other people are saying, You know, we were going to root for the Saints because you're there, but, you know, we still talking about them boys, you know. So I've grown up always, you know, listening to that. And, you know, yeah, there's a lot of diehard Cowboy fans are down here. So I really started liking the Saints, you know, around the Drew Brees era. That was really when I kind of started falling in love with the Saints for real. So that's how they got my attention.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
You got to make this team now, man. Like, you got to be a Saint. Like, that's got to happen.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. Definitely goal. Just putting in work, you know, day after day.
You have a preference, free or strong?
I mean, I will play wherever they want me to. I do, you know, enjoy free safety a lot, though. Just, you know, the coverage aspect and, you know, roaming around. But this last year, I played a lot of strong safety, and, you know, there's a lot of opportunities to make plays at strong safety in the run and in the pass. So, you know, I like them both, to be honest with you. You know, I hope I can learn both, you know, and be able to have that, you know, advantage to my tool belt.
You know, the other thing, too, obviously, is, man, guys a lot of times will make the team playing special teams. Like, did you play a lot of special teams in college, too?
Oh, yes, sir. I played everything, honestly. Yeah, I played kickoff return, punt return. And, you know, I really enjoyed special teams just because I don't have to think, you know, you don't think about offense or defense. Your mind just kind of, not that it relaxes, but it's in a third, you know, that's the third phase of the game. So, you know, that's different than just playing defense. You know, it's a totally different job, and I get to do a lot of different things, and that's what I really enjoy about special teams.
You've been in New Orleans? We got to. I mean, being from Tyler, you got to make your way down here at some point, right?
Yeah, and I've played, even when I was at UIW, you know, I played a lot of teams in Louisiana. I played even at UTSA, you know, we played against Tulane before. So I don't know if I don't think they were just in New Orleans, but I've been in Louisiana and around there. So.
All right, man. So you'll be in New Orleans next week for rookie minicamp, no doubt. What have the coaches told you about what to do, what to get ready for before you hit the facility next week?
Just obviously, you know, keeping your body ready and, you know, the physical aspect. Don't become, you know, you want to come into camp, you know, in shape. You know, you don't want to be out of shape. That's already kind of marks you off the list right there. Yeah, just making sure my body is healthy and ready to go. Making sure my mental is healthy as well, you know, because that aligns with your physical health. So, yeah, and just being ready to put the work in and have a good work ethic coming into it. And like you said, don't forget about special teams. Like you said, that's a main part of the game and the main way players make the team. So, you know, come in there just with a worker's mindset.
Saints rookie minicamp next week. Elliot Davison will be there, safety from UTSA. Join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, man, it's a pleasure. Appreciate a couple of minutes. Good luck to you, man. We'll be in touch, all right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot for this opportunity.
Of course, man. It's our pleasure. We appreciate you. Good stuff there from Elliot Davison from UTSA. How about that? From Tyler, Texas. Grew up a Saints fan. Unafraid, unapologetic. Goes to church and there's a bunch of Cowboys fans. He says, well, I can't say what I want to say, but he's saying it's in church, but not the church.
I was about to say, if there's one thing we've learned this week, it's what you should and should not say in church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Multiple different layers. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Y'all check them out. Get the website, southpointvw.com. Every single vehicle, if it's on the lot, it's online over at South Point Volkswagen. The other thing I would always encourage you to do, hit the specials tab right at the top. It'll go through every single special that they have going on right now at South Point Volkswagen. South Point Dealer Days right now, great opportunity to get by, make a deal. Remember, at South Point, they're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Because they do more inventory, they have a better selection, and obviously can give you a better deal than anyone over at South Point Volkswagen. Check it out. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. It's the thing I tell you all the time that for me is the greatest peace of mind. Every time I buckle Drew in his car seat, every time Erica drives off in her Atlas, I know my family's protected driving the safest possible vehicles they can be in. It's South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Been a good show, man. Many thanks to Dalys Beanum, who was here last hour, Saints UDFA out of South Dakota State. That was a great conversation. If you missed it, it's on demand. Kendall Rogers earlier this hour. Elliot Davison, you just heard as well. We also talked earlier in the show about Deven Sheerin, the LSU transfer pitcher from Mount St. Mary's, who, unfortunately tore his ACL. He's been out, but as Jay Johnson said, reiterated this morning on Off the Bench, he's throwing simulated games. He's trending toward pitching, and they're certainly confident he's going to get back on the mound at some point. If it's this year, it'll be interesting to see. But you head toward the postseason. You had another guy, another arm that throws 98. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that bullet in the chamber. So we'll keep following that. LSU and A&M, they'll begin their 3-game series tomorrow. Of course, we'll be here for it. Terry will be here. We'll look forward to that. All right, we got one thing left to do, y'all. When I got our final break of the show, come back. Jimmy will be here for Odd Locks. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, of course, talking about the Tiger baseball team. Remember, there's a great new episode over at The Garage, which is Gordon's podcast studio, that he'll do all the sit-down interviews with members of the G team, a lot of different interesting and influencing people. But he's got a handful of the new baseball G team members. He's got Josh Pearson, Gavin Guidry, Bear Jones, Michael Braswell, all sitting down with Gordon over at The Garage. Again, you can go to the Gordon McKernan YouTube channel or any of the social medias. Just go to @GetGordon. That's @GetGordon if you want to check it out, @GetGordon, for all of the different content there on any of Gordon's social medias. Remember, if you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Go to getgordon.com, get Gordon to get it done. Gordon also shares great advice on his social medias, as well as a video right there about how and you should have conversations with that insurance company. Get Gordon and get it done.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical. Doesn't matter if it's bringing home a new baby, if it's end-of-life care, maybe you're post-op and you need in-home nursing care. The professionals at Decision Critical are there for you. And my fullest endorsement, I've told you my story, knowing Blasia for as long as we have. She helped take care of Drew when he was a baby, going through a lot of CV treatments. Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, one thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance. Now's the time to get that AC unit checked before it really gets hot. Normally $179, just $79 when you mention Otter Locks. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
So we talking about knockout roses, Peggy Martin roses. What are we dealing with, Otter?
Pink, white, and a little red. I don't know. They look good, though.
The things I've learned endorsing Cleggs for as long as I have. I'm with you. What's pretty? Well, I say Erica, what do you like? I tell you, Otter, don't sleep on a Dippeldania, man. Those things, tropical, beautiful by the pool, they thrive in the summer as well. It could be 110 degrees. They ain't bothered by it. Beautiful. Get some for your pool.
I'll put my ferns up against anybody's. Boy. It's amazing as you get older, man.
My ferns.
It's amazing. All right.
What we got? What are we looking at?
Actually, 2 Rocketeers in the NBA and not so much in Major League Baseball. And boy, how about Paul Skeens gave up 3 home runs in the same inning, 3 solo shots as the Pirates lost. He had a 2-0 lead at one point. But anyway, we're sticking with basketball tonight. And the Pistons, man, they just kind of do this one. I love this line. It's only 1.5. All of the 3 wins that the Knicks have all been very close. And just think that the Pistons, this thing's got 7 written all over it. We're going to take the Pistons at home minus the 1.5 in the early game. In the late game, one thing I know for sure, that supporting cast is not going to be as productive, is as good as they were in Game 5 for the Joker. I mean, he barely scored 13, and they scored 129 or whatever it was. I mean, Westbrook was on fire. Murray dropped 43. Gordon was like 8 of 10 from the floor. That can't repeat itself. So another one that I think is going to go 7. So I'm not crazy about the price, but we're going to lay it. We're going to lay the 6 and take, I think it's 6 right now, and take the Clippers of minus the point. Look at the 4, 2 Game 7s in the NBA tonight.
I played it, but let me check the updated line real quick. It's DraftKings is 6.5 still, which is the line you gave it. So if you shop, you maybe find 6.
Let me give you a college baseball game tonight.
Okay.
Go on in, 7 minutes. And, man, the Texas Longhorns are pretty good. They're plus money tonight. And they lost their ace for the year, but their Sunday starter moved up to the number 1 starter last week. And Charlie and I talked about it on the podcast, and Charlie's been red hot on his college baseball picks. This is one of his picks tonight as well. He's got 3 more on the podcast for tomorrow as well. But he's this kid beat A&M 2-1, and A&M had really been swinging the bats coming in last week. We know that Texas won all 3 games by 1 run. Eventually they're going to lose, a close game along the way. But this lineup, this team in close games, I think Schlossnagle is part of this recipe as well. He's really good. We know about that. I think Texas with this Rio Honolio, I forget his name, but he was really good last week.
Riojas.
Yeah. Man, I've been fooling with the Rose, baby. All right, So,
oh man!
And I'm going to give you one more. Speaking of
why not?
Team,
Let's
the
do
college
it.
College baseball former Auburn ace. We're going to go with the the Detroit Tigers on the road against the Angels.
Oh, Casey Mize.
Yes, yeah. He's been outstanding. We know about the Cy Young winner last year. He's back. I mean, Flaherty's good. Casey Mize is breaking through this year. He has been awesome. We're going with him tonight.
Do I remember a game? You still remember this? When Mikhail Hilliard outdueled Casey Mize. Didn't that happen?
It was Jay Johnson's first year. It was at the box.
Yeah.
Yep, 22.
There you go, Busso.
2022.
There you go, baby.
Man. Hey, old Mikhail Hilliard pull. Shut up, Mikhail.
Yeah.
Come on, Busso. We need something out of our role players in Detroit tonight. Come on, boy.
Need to get Alex Lang back on the hill in Detroit, Otter.
Come on, man. Peppadelia. Come on, my little Peppadelia. What is that again, Matt? What kind of flower?
Oh, no, a Dippledinia.
Yeah, that's what I said.
A Dippledinia, yes. Good luck with your ferns, Otter. Rufino's tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Lock of the week Friday.
Oh, lock of the week.
We're running Derby picks galore tomorrow.
My lock is that Saturday I'm going to be at Pearl Jam, and nobody better bother me. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
We'll see you. All right, that'll do it for us here. Muse, Pauly, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you for a Friday edition of AFR where I'm not going to be paying attention to much.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit your Goodwood